don't know, I think the role of the artist in society is, well, there's always a cliche of, does art follow life, does life follow art? And I think as I see it, the artist is a kind of a filtration system through which society is reflected and interpreted and perhaps allows society to see itself in a slightly different way. And every element, every decision you've made, there has to be a concerted relationship. Just like within the human body, everything that's there has to be tuned up and functioning in an interdependent way. So too in a painting, or any art form for that matter, every decision, every element that's there should function, should make a contribution, and there's a sense of life. And you're always playing this game with your mind about making decisions that are fairly safe, and the reason they feel safe is because they're old friends. You've done it before. And you've always got to push yourself to the edge of that risk-taking atmosphere. And that's where the excitement is, that's where the challenge is, that's where the innovation is. Even though I've done this hundreds of times, started and completed paintings, there's always that edge of, can I do it again? You know, and I just have to prove to myself that I can do it again, I can do it one more time.
(1861). America tears herself apart. Blue and gray collide on great battlefields. It's hell on earth. Into the carnage of war march two regiments on a collision course.
Rally on the colors, boys!
Brave young men, volunteers for cause and country.
Let's go, boys!
This is not Lincoln's war, or Grant's, or Lee's. This is Henry Abbott's war, and the 20th Massachusetts.
I would rather die 1,000 deaths than live knowing that our glorious Union could be torn apart by these miserable Southern hounds.
It's Edward Reed's war, and the 1st Virginia. This is their story. Their Bull Run. Their Antietam. Their Gettysburg.
And already that battlefield looks like a slaughterhouse.
That summer, Henry Livermore Abbott enlists in the 20th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment. He doesn't love the idea of war, but his two brothers, Ned and Fletch, joined up before him.
I came to the conclusion that that was the thing that I ought to do. That nothing could be so good for me by way of experience as joining the Army. It's pretty hard to stand the idea that Ned and Fletch were down there fighting the war, while I was at home doing nothing.
550 miles south of Boston, in Richmond, Virginia, another young man. He's answering the call to arms. 28-year-old Edward Payson Reeve, a pharmacist, joins the 1st Regiment of Virginia Volunteers. It's a storied unit whose history goes back to the nation's founding.
I enlist as a private in the most historic and proud regiment I know, 1st Virginia Infantry.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for it.
After 5 weeks, we believe we are ready for war. But before we go and kill some Yanks, I need to take care of some important business. I must marry the love of my life, Hester Morris Goodall. It's time to go to war.
Starting in May 1861, the Confederates begin gathering their forces at Manassas Junction, just 35 miles from Washington, D.C.
We've been in the woods all morning, pretty sure the Yanks have come down from Centerville. They're out there somewhere.
I don't think they're coming.
They're coming.
Nah. They ain't gonna come.
Just keep your eyes open. They'll be here.
got you!
It's July 18th, 1861. Union artillery pounds Blackburn's Ford, where Edward Reeve, Howard Walthall, and the 1st Virginia hunker down under the barrage. At all cost, they must defend the strategic railroad hub of Manassas Junction.
Rally on the cars, boys! Rally on the cars!
Reeves' bravery inspires the 1st Virginia to charge up the hill and push the Yankees off the field. From the cities and towns to villages and farms, people begin to grasp the true magnitude of the conflict unfolding before them. Gone is the hope for a short, bloodless conflict. Both sides realize the very nature of the war has changed.
The Rebs appear in the woods to the west, while we form a battle line along the eastern edge of the field. It seems as if every square inch of air within 6 feet of the ground is riddled with bullets, whistling by our heads.
With the Confederates pressing forward to close the trap, Abbott and his friend Oliver Wendell Holmes struggle to hold their men in line. At the height of the battle, Holmes is hit by a spent bullet. The wind is knocked out of him, but he gets back up. Then,
It felt like a horse that kicked me. At once, my thoughts jumped to a book I read as a little boy, in which one of the characters is shot through the lungs by a robber. I remembered he died with such agony. Just then, I remembered and felt in my pocket the bottle of lawn I brought with me. After that, my recollection of events is confused.
This is the birthplace of great ideas. The Chrysler Technology Center. It is an environment that provides the finest technical tools, where all the essential disciplines are brought together under one roof. It is an environment that inspires the imagination, where great ideas are not only encouraged, they are brought to life. In every vehicle Chrysler builds, there's a promise, put there by people who love building cars. The result of this innovative new approach, today's Chrysler sedans. Expressive, athletic, and refined. All built on the belief that while all cars appeal to our practical side, the great ones appeal to a more passionate side.
We have that vision at Chrysler where in order to build a vehicle, everybody has to be involved.
Well, the main thing we had to accomplish was an assignment given to us by our senior management, beat the original design.
The first thing we wanted to do was to make the vehicle really feel nimble.
Design, test, build, fabricate, everything all the way down the line.
And try to give it that individuality and that personality, that passion feel.
While all cars appeal to our practical side, The great ones appeal to a more passionate side. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
Okay, this is the picture.
Roll camera. And flame on.
Paying attention to every single detail. Erick delivers above and beyond every time.
As tight as you guys.
He has a great way of bringing the vision to life.
If you weren't there, she was going to pick up the box and say, you know, I and my family going all over the place, and I bring them back with Encore.
That's a completely different story.
It is.
So we'll work together as a team?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I just made a comment about Erick today. He'll be on the stage, and he'll be directing in the wonderful way that he does. But he's such an accessible and responsive director that he cuts, he runs across the stage, runs up the stairs, talks with the client, with the agency, makes certain that we're on track, we're aligned, we're doing what, we're fulfilling the vision, and he's zipping up and down those stairs all the time. So he's not only a great director, but he's probably just, you know, he's a physical specimen.
Well, that's believable.
Erick delivers above and beyond every time.